Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm going to preface this video by apologizing for the inexcusable amount of time in between video uploads on my channel. But as you can see, I have reworked my recording setup with better lighting and hopefully better audio, as good as the audio can possibly be when you live a few blocks away from a hospital and have to deal with frequent helicopter flyovers and ambulances rumbling down the street and having to record at ungodly hours in the morning to minimize the rumbling of the city interfering with your video audio. But moving on to today's actual video content, I'm going to be taking a look at the Gamdias Hephaestus 2 gaming headset. Now, some of you may remember that the Gamdias Hephaestus original was the first Gamdias product I had reviewed on my channel. As with all of my sponsored product reviews, I will give a conflict of interest disclosure. Although I did receive the product as a complimentary review sample, I did not receive any monetary incentive, and my review contract stipulates that I do have complete creative freedom in the content of my video. So without further ado, let's get on with the unboxing and review of the Gamdias Hephaestus 2 gaming headsets. Gamdias names all their gaming peripherals after Greek gods. Hephaestus is the Greek god of fire and the forge, craftsmanship, blacksmiths, metallurgy, artisanism, and the packaging outside of the advertised features are very simplistic in nature. Nothing fancy about the packaging, not much else you can say about the box exterior outside of the features that I am going to mention once I unpack the headset. So, headset itself comes out, and what else do you get with it? You do get stickers, you do get quick start guide, but unfortunately you do not get the stickers that normally accompany Gamdias products. That's a big thumbs down. It's not going to affect my review score of the product quality, but it is nice when companies have a throw-in of some kind, be it stickers or a badge. The physical features, what sticks out to me the most is how large these ear cups are. They rotate and swivel. The drivers are 50 millimeters, and the ear cups are meant to be circumoral, surrounding your ear, and a reasonably closed air design with memory foam-esque padding to make a tight seal around your ear. The headband is minimally padded. I do wish that they used more padding on the interior of the headband. With rigid, large headphones, sometimes the headbands tend to cut into the top of my head a lot, but I do like how they have the Gamdias logo cut into the leatherette covering. There is a reasonable amount of extension. The microphone swivels and bends for different positions, and the USB cable is not long enough for couch gaming, and the connector is not gold plated. The inline controller does not have a clip, which is actually a step back from the original Hephaestus, because the original Hephaestus did come with a clip for the inline controller. I believe this is the call answer button, and you can see the mic on and lighting control on the inline controller, and volume up and volume down. So I believe that's it for a physical features overview. So let's go ahead and get this headset plugged in and test how the headset sounds and feels. So now I've used this headset for several hours of gaming, listening to music, and watching Netflix. First and foremost, the build quality of this headset is fantastic, especially at this price point. You can fold the ear cups so that it lays flat, or you can fold them inward for ease of transport. The ear cups themselves make a super tight seal around your ear, so it does a wonderful job at noise canceling, which is especially beneficial for me since I live on a busy street. Blocks out noise from the external environment. The ear cups are comfortable to have around your ears for an extended period of time, but for me personally, maybe it's just my head size, but I do wish that there was a little bit more padding on the headband, which was a feature that I talked about in my initial overview. I do feel like the headband does cut into the top of my head a little bit harshly after extended wear. It might not be the case with everyone, but at least the area around your ears with the ear cups is still going to remain super comfortable. There are subtle lighting accents around the headset, but thankfully using the inline controller you can turn them off if you don't like them. And you can also use the Hera software, which I have on screen behind me, to allow the lighting to pulsate. The microphone is nothing to write home about in terms of voice output quality. Think of the microphone sound quality is nothing to write home about. Your TeamSpeak party will minimally be able to understand you, but you're not going to be coming through as clearly as though you were in a recording studio, but that's not really what's required out of an inline microphone. All you need is for your voice over IP party to understand you. But how is the audio quality of the Gamdias Hephaestus V2? Is it going to be an enjoyable listening experience? That depends on what your expectations are. It should come as no surprise to anyone that a gaming branded headset will have lower sound quality dollar for dollar than a comparatively priced audiophile or studio headset. When you are paying for a gaming headset, you're paying for obviously the gaming branding, but some other superfluous features that don't have anything to do with the sound quality, like the integrated microphone. Of course, if you're buying a studio headset, you're going to be using like a dedicated microphone instead of like the inline or a boom microphone, and part of the cost of a gaming headset could be some of the driver support and the virtualization. And how is the 7.1 surround virtualization through the Gamdias software? I don't have very many pleasant things to say about the virtualization of the Gamdias Hera software. I tested the 7.1 surround virtualization in many games where sound is very critical and the direction of where the sound is coming from super critical, like Call of Duty, where you have the Dead Silence perk on and the Sit Rep Pro, or whatever the perk is where you hear your enemy's footsteps a lot better. With a headset like the Astro A40s, I can pinpoint enemy's location up to number of steps away, like how many floors above me they are. I just really can't do this with the Gamdias Hephaestus V2. I don't know whether it's the virtualization or a limitation of the actual hardware in the drivers. Like with ear cups this large, you would expect there to be enough surface area to really allow for a virtual surround experience, but I'm just not feeling with the Gamdias Hephaestus V2 a really good surround virtualization. How is the vibration feature? Subtle, not even noticeable at times. Not compared to the Gamdias Hephaestus V1, the vibration feature, like you could actually directly feel where the grenade was coming from or where the explosion was. With the Gamdias Hephaestus V2, vibration is subtle, if there at all. So small disclaimer, when talking about the technical aspects of the sound quality, I'm going to be using terms as though I am a filthy casual, because I am a filthy casual. I'm not an audiophile by any means, so if I misuse any of the audiophile buzzwords, please correct me. But gaming headsets are often advertised with strong bass to bring out the booms of the explosions in games, but with the Gamdias Hephaestus V2, I played around with various preset EQs and fooled around with the equalizer a lot, and I just really dislike how muddled the bass and the lower frequency tones are. There's not a whole lot of distinction amongst them. With the mids, I can make out very clear vocals when listening to music, and in-game dialogue, spoken dialogue, is very crisp and clear, even on some of the EQs that emphasize bass more so. But the bass is just, really muddled, and I dislike the lack of clarity in the lower tones. So as we transition into a discussion of relative value, let's review the positive and negative features of the Gamdias Hephaestus V2. I really like how comfortable the ear cups are around your ears and how tight of a seal they make around your ears, blocking off sound from the external environment. I do like how much flexibility you have for storing the headset for travel or just laying it flat on your desk with the degree of rotation that the ear cups have. The construction and the build quality are fantastic. The headset is super durable. The not so strong features of the headset are the lackluster software with virtualization. If you had motherboard made within the previous year or 2 years, hell, even 5 years, then the onboard motherboard audio surround virtualization is probably going to be a lot better than the virtualization delivered by the Gamdias drivers. The microphone sound quality, again, 2 tin cans connected by a string. Imagine that, and you get the sense of how poor the sound quality is when you're speaking into the microphone. It's not detachable. The USB cable is not gold plated. Does it matter? No, but would it really have cost that much more to have a gold plated USB connector? Because I figure that's a default for any USB electronic that wants to be taken seriously. I do wish there was more padding, or maybe even a split top headband. Technical aspects of the sound quality, again, I really don't like how muddled the sound can feel at the lower frequencies. So the MSRP for the headset, I think it's like $59.99 for the USB version. At least that's pretty close to what you can find it for on Amazon. Is this headset a good buy at that price? Unfortunately, no. I would say that the headset is really only a buy if you can get a good deal on it. I really don't think you should go out of your way to specifically get this headset. There are some really nice features that keep this headset from being bottom of the barrel or drowning in mediocrity, like how comfortable they are. They're not exceptionally stylish. The vibration feature is not going to blow you away. The sound quality is not going to blow you away. But in terms of an all-in-one gaming peripheral, you do have an integrated microphone, but you don't have the flexibility to use it with your smartphone because it uses a USB, not a 3.5 millimeter jack. It is durable. You're going to get several years of use out of it, unlike some flimsier headsets. So my final grade for the headset, I'm going to give it a C+. The strong features obviously being the comfort, how well the ear cups seal around your ears to block out the external volume. I've already said this, I'm just repeating myself at this point. But yeah, my recommendation is only buy if you can find a really good deal for them, but don't really go out of your way to buy this headset if you can get comparable ones for a similar price range. There are just so many ways that the Gamdias Hephaestus V2 has taken steps back compared to the original Hephaestus, but is it apples and oranges? The Hephaestus V1 was meant to be one of Gamdias's flagship products. It was supposed to be super ultra premium, which maybe it was to Gamdias, but overall it wasn't going to place Astro A40s or premium Turtle Beaches as go-to gaming branded headsets, or even Corsair or SteelSeries headsets. I did like a lot of the features that came with the Gamdias Hephaestus V1 and how comfortable they were. Whereas the Gamdias Hephaestus V2 is meant to be more of an entry-level budget option. I don't think Gamdias is really doing a whole lot of updates to what is an ultra premium line. So I do foresee drops in price on the Gamdias Hephaestus V2. Whereas the Hephaestus, but again, I hope I've made an informative review for those of you who are looking at the Gamdias Hephaestus V2 or any Gamdias products. Gamdias is a very gamer-centric company. Like, they put a lot of work into making their own designs instead of just rebranding OEM designs. But really, I do think that they do have a long way to go in terms of the core hardware and making actual sound come out of the headphones. But where they are consistently strong is the build quality of their components. So they have that going for them. Thank you very much, Gamdias, for sponsoring me again with a review product. My name is David, and I will see you guys next video.